When Imam Hussein saw their gathering, which was like a torrent, he raised his hands to the sky and prayed, "Oh my Lord, you are my haven in every mishap, my hope in every predicament, my refuge and defender in every ordeal. How many a distress that weakens the heart, makes the enemies rejoice at the misfortune. When I entrusted it to you and resorted to you out of preference over others, you did not let me down, and you have driven away and eliminated all these distressing things. You are the giver and every boon, and the ultimate source of every wish to be granted." Then Imam Hussein mounted his horse and stood in front of them ready to speak. He began by saying, "O people, track back my lineage to see who I am. Then look back and think to yourselves. Think about whether it is right for you to kill me and violate my integrity. Am I not the son of your prophet's daughter? Am I not the son of your prophet's successor? Was Hamza, the Syed al-Shuhada, the master of martyrs, not my father's uncle? Was Ja'far not my uncle? Have you not heard the Prophet's words concerning my brother and I? Hassan and Hussein are Sayyiday Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. Whether you believe in this or not, what I say or not, even though it is the truth, there are men amongst you that if you ask them, they will tell you I speak the truth. Ask Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. My companions rise to certain death. May Allah have mercy upon you. The arrows, these arrows are the messengers of your enemies to you. The companions waged a battle and fought for an hour or so. When the dust settled, they were 50 dead. When the Imam saw this, he said, Allah's wrath on the Jews was great because they claimed he had a son. On the Christians because they made him one of Trinity. And on the people who were anonymous in the agreement to kill the son of their prophet's daughter. By Allah, I'm not giving up until I meet Allah drenched in my blood. Then he shouted, Allah al-min nasir, Allah al-mu'in yu'inuna, Allah al-min mudhibbin yadhibbu an haram Rasulillah. Is there no one who can come to our rescue? Is there no one to protect the sanctity of the Prophet's family? When the woman heard his plea, they began to cry. By one, the companions of Imam Hussein asked to enter the battlefield to fight the enemy, bidding him farewell. Al-Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi attacked the enemies, killing over 40 of them. When his horse was grounded, he fought them on foot until he fell to the ground. Imam Hussein rushed to him, removed the blood and the sand from his face. He told him, Congratulations, O Hurr. Congratulations, O Hurr. You are a free man just like your mother named you. Aslam, the servant of Imam Hussein, was next. He fought with great bravery. When he was badly wounded, he called on the Imam to help him. Imam came to him and hugged him for the last time. Aslam smiled, thanked Allah that He had granted him martyrdom, and passed away. Muslim ibn Awsaja assaulted the enemy and fought very bravely. Amr ibn al-Hajjaj, along with his troops, counterattacked the camp of Imam Hussein. When the two forces clashed and the dust settled, Muslim ibn Awsaja was found fallen, but still alive. Imam said to him, "May Allah have mercy on you, O Muslim." Habib said, "I am very sorry, Ya Aba Abdullah, to see you in this state. You are entering paradise, O Muslim. If I wasn't absolutely sure that I will follow your footsteps, I would have asked you to give me your last will." Muslim said, "Yes, my will is to take care of this man," pointing at Imam Hussein. "Sacrifice the last breath you have for him, Habib." Habib told Muslim ibn Awsaja, "Rest assured that I will." Once all the companions of the Imam had passed away and sought martyrdom, the family of Imam Hussein got ready for battle. The first to come forward was Ali al-Akbar, Imam Hussein's oldest son. He was 27 years old when Ali asked for permission from his father. Imam Hussein could not hold back his tears. He looked to Umar ibn Sa'd and said, "Oh Umar, may Allah bereave you of your family the same way you bereaved me of mine. May Allah send someone to kill you on your bed." Then he looked to the skies and said, "Oh Allah, bear witness on this people. The most similar youth to the Prophet has come out to meet them. Oh Lord, deprive them from the riches of the land. Divide them and bring wrath upon them." Ali al-Akbar entered the battle, killing tens from the troops and reciting the epic, "Ana Ali ibn al-Husayn ibn Ali, نحن وبيت الله أولى بالنبي, تالله لا يحكم فينا ابن الدعي, أضرب بالسيف أحامي عن أبي, ضرب غلام هاشمي علوي." Due to the immense thirst he felt and the pain from the scorching sun, he came back to his camp asking his father for water. Imam Hussein told him that he is more thirsty than his son, and rest assured him that Rasulullah will be the first to quench his thirst. Ali went back to fighting with great fears. It was as his grandfather Amir al-Mu'mineen was in the battlefield. Finally, Murra ibn Munqidh approached him and dealt a blow to Ali's head, causing him to fall from his horse not being able to see the blood, covering his eyes, dragged Ali to the enemy's tent, to the enemy's camps. The enemy troops cut his limbs into pieces. Ali Akbar lastly cried out loud, "Alayka minni salam, ya Aba Abdullah." هذا جدي قد سقاني بكأسه شربة لا أظمأ بعدها وإنك كأسا مذخورة فالعجل العجل. Oh Aba Abdullah, here's my grandfather, from whose cup I have drunk. Never again I will be thirsty. He says that there will be a cup waiting for you. Imam Hussein rushed to him, seeing what is remaining from his son Ali. Imam put his cheeks on his son Ali's cheeks, saying, "Oh Ali, life is not worth living anymore after you. على الدنيا من بعدك العفا." My son, how dare they encroach on Allah and violate the sanctity of the Prophet. At last, it is hard for me to revenge. صلى على محمد وعلى محمد. Life is not worth living anymore after you. My son, how dare they encroach on Allah and violate the sanctity of the Prophet. At last it is hard for your grandfather and your father that you call on them for help when they cannot provide. He then scooped a handful of the pure blood of Ali al-Akbar and threw it to the sky. Not a simple drop fell to the ground. Imam Hussein then ordered the youth to come carry Ali back to the tent. The women gathered around Ali, weeping and crying and beating his chest. The turn down was for the 14-year-old Qasim, the son of Imam Hassan. Imam Hussein refused to give him permission, since Qasim was only memory remaining from his brother Al-Hassan. Qasim brought a letter to Imam Hussein, which was from Imam Hassan, urging him to allow his son to fight. Imam Hussein wept, Qasim wept, they hugged each other emotionally, and then Imam allowed him to go into battle. Qasim fought very bravely until his sandals snapped. Oh mu'mineen, he bent down to fix it. Amr ibn Sa'd al-Asadi hit him with a sword on his head. Imam Hussein rushed to him, carrying his body, saying in a sad voice, بُعْدًا لِقَوْمٍ قَتَلُوكَ خصمهم يوم القيامة جدك وأبوك. ثم قال عز والله على عمك أن تدعوه فلا يجيبك، أو يجيبك فلا ينفعك، والله كثر واتره وقل ناصره. It is with great regret that I am helpless when you call my nephew Qasim, but I cannot respond, or when I respond, but I cannot help. Qasim was brought back to the tent. They put his body next to the body of Ali al-Akbar, and the other youth said, "Oh Lord, do not lose count of them. Do not forgive them. Oh cousins, forbear in adversity. You shall never see disgrace after today." When Abbas saw the death toll rising, he stood stood up and ordered his brothers Abdullah, Uthman and Ja'far to enter the battlefield and fight one by one. One by one his brothers fought and were killed. It was now time for Abbas, Mu'mineen himself, to enter the battle. He came to his brother Imam Hussein seeking to go fight. Imam Hussein did not want to see Abbas's loss. Tears filled the eyes of Imam Hussein. He told him, "Oh brother, you are the bearer of my flag. If you die, my entire army will collapse, and my enemies will rejoice." Abbas replied, "I am tired of these hypocrites. I cannot stand the sound of the children crying, Al-Amash, Al-Amash. Or, uncle, we are thirsty. The sound of thirst is killing me. I want to seek my revenge." When Imam Hussein saw the Abbasid advent about fighting, he said, "My brother, go and seek some water for the children." Abbas immediately mounted his horse, took a skin water container. He headed towards the river, cutting through the enemy lines. He was surrounded by some 4,000 troops who shot at him with arrows, but he did not fear their multitude. The standard hoisted over his head, he started attacking, causing them to flee in front of him like fleas. And he managed to reach the water line in the river bank with fortitude. As soon as he reached the river, he grabbed the water to drink, but then remembered the thirst of Hussein. He dropped the water. He couldn't drink while Imam Hussein and the children were thirsty. He raised his voice by saying, "Ya nafsu min ba'd al-Hussein huni, wa ba'dihi la kunti aw takuni. Hada Hussein sharib al-manuni, wa tashrabina barid al-ma'ini. والله ما هذا فعال ديني ولا فعال الصادق اليقيني." He filled his water skin, mounted his horse, and headed towards the camp. All of a sudden, the enemy troops surrounded him from every direction. They attacked him all together. Zayd ibn al-Aqad and Hakim ibn al-Tufayl were hiding behind a tree. As soon as Abu al-Fadl approached, Zayd hit Abbas on the right hand, immediately cutting it off. Abu al-Fadl started to recite, "Wallahi in qata'tumu yamini, inni uhami abadan an dini, وعن إمام صادق النبي عن صادق اليقين نجل النبي الطاهر الأمين." He then grabbed the container in his left arm until Hakim ibn al-Tufayl came and hit Abbas on his left hand. Abbas started to recite, "Ya nafsu la takhshi min al-kuffari, wa abshiri bi rahmatil jabbari, ببابهم قد قطعوا يساري فأصلهم يا رب حر النار." He managed to grab the water skin with his teeth, staying without his two arms. He was heading back to the camp slowly, but the enemies did not give him a chance. They rained him with arrows, one falling falling into his eyes, and one hitting the water skin, causing it to drop, and another arrow pierced through his chest. Abbas stood hopeless. When the container fell, Abbas lost hope and stopped going forward. Instead, he stood in his place. All of a sudden, one of the wicked troops hit him with a pole on his head, causing Abbas to fall to the ground, calling upon Imam Hussein. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Akhi adrik akhak. My brother Aba Abdullah, may the peace of Allah be upon you. I have fallen to the ground. Imam Hussein rushed to him, causing the enemies to flee. When Imam Hussein approached him, he first saw the water skin, then the flag on the ground, then he saw the two torn arms of Abbas scattered on the battlefield. Abbas was lying on the ground. An arrow embedded in his eye, an arrow embedded in his chest. Imam Hussein could not control himself. He started to cry and hold his back, saying, Akhi al-an inkasara dhahri wa qallat hilati wa shamta bi aduwi. Akhi man lil-'iyali ba'dak. Akhi man lil-fawatimi ba'dak. Abbas, you have broken my back. Abbas, my enemies have rejoiced over your death. Abbas, there is no one to support me any longer. Abbas, who will safeguard the daughters of Rasulullah? Imam Hussein urged Abbas to get up so they may take him back to the camp. Abbas refused. He had promised the children to get them water. He couldn't go back empty-handed. After a few moments, Imam Hussein was seen walking back to the camp alone, broken, downhearted, sorrowful, hopeless, and weeping. Wiping his tears with his shirt sleeves, Imam Hussein returned to the camp. Sakina approached him and asked her about her uncle. He told her that Abbas will not be returning. Zainab overheard him and screamed, Oh Abbasa, wa Abbasa. You scream with Sayyidah Zainab, wa Abbasa. What a loss. The woman started crying, and Imam Hussein sat with the woman, and he started to weep with the daughters of Rasulullah, screaming his name, Wa Abbasa, Wa Akhah, Wa Abbasa, Wa Day'atana Ba'dik. After the death of Abbas, Imam Hussein was left without supporters. He looked around and saw nothing but dead bodies around him. He kept on shouting, هل من داب يذب عن حرم رسول الله هل من موحد يخاف الله فينا هل من مغيث يرجو الله في إغاثتنا. Is there no one to help us? Is there no one to protect us? Before Imam Hussein said his farewells, his sister Zainab brought him his infant Abdullah. Zainab told him, my brother, before you go, please ask these men for a few drops of water for this child. This child is dying of thirst. He can no longer breathe. Imam Hussein grabbed his son and headed towards the enemy and asked them for a few drops of water. The enemy huddled around each other and decided to whether give him water or not. All of a sudden, Harmala shot the infant with an arrow, which passed through the child's neck, killing him instantly. Imam Hussein scooped the blood that was dripping from Abdullah's neck and threw it to the skies and said, هَوَّنَ عَلَيَّ مَا زَلَزَلَ بِي إِنَّهُ بِعَيْنِ اللَّهِ اللهم لا يكونن ابني هذا أهون عليك من فصيل صالح. Imam Baqir says, that's not one drop came back to the ground. Imam Hussein came back and handed the child over to his daughter Sukaina. The narrations say that Imam Hussein buried the infant right away. At that time, Imam Hussein looked hopeless to live. He was now ready to meet his Lord and face martyrdom. He came back to his family, bidding them farewell for the last time. I want you to hear these words of Imam Hussein when he started bidding farewell. Ya Zainab, Ya Kulthum, Ya Sukaina, Ya Ruqayya, Ya Rabab, alaykunna bin salam. الوداع الوداع فهذا آخر اجتماع وقد قرب منكم الافتجاع واستعدوا للبلاء واعلموا أن الله حافظكم وحاميكم وسينجيكم من شر الأعداء. Oh my sister Zainab, oh Kulthum, oh Ruqayya, oh Sukaina, oh Rabab, may Allah's peace, His peace be with you. I am going away and shall meet you in paradise. Be patient after my death, for you have many tragedies awaiting you. Then he asked for his horse. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam brings him his horse, tears filling her eyes. When Imam Hussein mounted his horse and headed towards the battlefield, he heard a scream from the tents coming, a faint voice calling him from behind. He looked back to see that was his sister Zainab. She asked him to return, to come down from his horse. She told him, my brother, Ya Aba Abdullah, there is one thing that I need to do. Come down from your horse, my brother. She embraced him and printed a kiss on the neck of Imam Hussein. She turned towards Medina and she said, oh my mother Fatima, I did as you asked me to do on the 10th of Muharram. I kissed the jugular vein of Hussein before the sword of Shimr touches his veins. Imam Hussein rode his horse one last time and charged to the enemies, reciting the epic. أنا الحسين بن علي آليت أن لا أنثني أحمي عيالات أبي أمضي على دين النبي. Thereupon Umar ibn Sa'd yielded the crowd and yelled at the crowd, and he is the son of the exterminator of the Arabs. Set upon him from every direction. They rained the Imam with 4,000 arrows. The soldiers cutting off his cap. He shouted, وَيْحَكُمْ يَا شِيعَةَ آلَ أَبِي سُفْيَانَ إِنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ لَكُمْ دِينٌ وَكُنْتُمْ لَا تَخَافُونَ الْمَعَادِ فَكُونُوا أَحْرَارًا فِي دُنْيَاكُمْ إِنْ كُنْتُمْ عَرَبًا كَمَا تَزْعَمُونَ. Shimmer screamed and exclaimed, "What are you saying, the son of Fatima?" Imam Hussein replied, "I am the one who is fighting you, and the women are not at fault. Please, so as long as I am alive, forbid your insolent thugs from harassing my daughters." Shimmer acceded to his request, whereupon the enemy soldiers only targeted Hussein. When Umar ibn Sa'd saw him approaching, he ordered his soldiers to attack him from every direction. One by one they met the Imam, and the Imam fought them fiercely. After killing tens of them and being severely wounded, the Imam became tired. He asked the enemy for some water. Shimon responded, "You are not going to taste it until you enter Jannah." Imam Hussein had to stop and rest, O Mu'mineen. As he was resting, one of the enemies hit him with a rock on his forehead, causing Imam to bleed and blood to gush from Imam's face. The Imam took a piece of cloth to wipe off the bleeding and the blood off his face. Suddenly, the enemy pointed a three-headed arrow at the Imam, penetrating the Imam's heart. The Imam started to recite Bismillah وَبِاللَّهُ عَلَى مِلَّةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صبرا على قضائك لا معبود سواك أغثني يا غياث المستغيثين. In the name of Allah, by Allah, on the path of the Messenger of Allah. Then he raised his head to the skies and said, "O Allah, you know very well that there are killing the only grandson of the Prophet, and there is no other grandson besides him." He pulled the arrow out of his chest. Mu'mineen, they say that part of the Imam's heart came out with the arrow. Causing the blood to stream down, he put his hand under his chest, filling it in with the blood. Then he threw the blood towards the skies and said, "My only comfort is that what is befallen me is in the eyes and presence of Allah." He filled his hand again with blood, this time staining his hair, his beard, and saying, "I wish to meet Allah and my grandfather drenched with my blood." Imam Hussein was fatally wounded. He left lying on the ground for a considerable time. None of the soldiers had the boldness to come finish him off. The Imam Hussein's horse started to roam around him. The Janah started to roam around Imam Hussein, staining his head, his forehead with Imam Hussein's blood. The horse kept circling him. Imam al-Batna says, as if it was telling him to get up, because the enemies is approaching him. The horse was saying, الظليمة الظليمة من أمة قتلت ابن بنت نبيها. What an injustice has been done to the grandson of the Prophet by his own nation. Then the horse headed back towards the camp of Imam Hussein. The woman heard the voice of the horse, thinking that Imam Hussein had come back to them. However, they came out of their tents to see the horse without his knight, drenched in the blood of his master. They began to beat their chests, shouting, "Oh Hussein, wa Husaina!" Zainab immediately rushed to the scene to see what is happening to her brother. Oh Mu'mineen, she saw Imam lying on the ground, surrounded by the enemy. Zainab shouted, "Oh Umar, have you no mercy to see my brother in this state?" Umar ibn Sa'd, with his dear tears streaming down his face, shouted to his soldiers, "Go down and bring him to peace," meaning one of you must kill him. At the sound of this command, Shimon al-Jawshan started to approach our Imam. He came near the Imam, kicked the Imam in his chest several times. He sat on the chest of Hussein.